It's now 5:40 in the evening. We are now here at City Hall, 790 Homestead Boulevard, Homestead, Florida. I'd like to call the meeting to order at this time. The invocation and pledge allegiance. Reverend Trevor Johnson, pastor of Life Point Church, and the pledge allegiance will be given by the police explorers and Councilman Burgess, if you will, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight, and we thank you for your good grace on our good city. Lord, we thank you for how you have demonstrated your faithfulness to us in the past, and we ask, Lord, for your prosperity on our city and also our sister city, Florida City. Pray you bless our residents, our city leaders, our business leaders. You would prosper our business. Give our government wisdom, and I pray you keep your hand on them. Let them be instruments in your hands. Father, we thank you for that. We thank you for the beauty that we're so fortunate to live in, and pray that we would be good stewards of it. Father, most of all, we thank you for your good son, Jesus, who, your word says, became flesh and moved into our neighborhood. He grew up. He did miracles. He healed sick people. He turned the water into wine. He delivered people. And for all of that, he was crucified and thrown into a hole. But he was also resurrected. And he ascended to the right hand of the Father where he makes intercession for us. I thank you, Lord, for your grace on us. And we pray its continued work in your city. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, attention. Carry, cut. Forward, march. Left wheel, march. On guard, hold. Freeze and arm.
Please join me in pledging. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, march. Right face. Forward, march.
Please be seated. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Councilman Burgess.
Here.
Councilwoman Lobos. Here. Councilman Maldonado.
Here.
Councilman Shelley.
Here.
Vice Mayor Warman. Here. Mayor Bateman.
Yes, here. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, we're going to move into public comment. Commissioner Jimenez, is he in the audience? No, not yet. Okay, public comment. We have some public comment. Let's go to the podium. State your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Pastor David Vega from Mission Miami, 18650 Southwest 210th Street. I'm here on behalf of Pastor Elkin Espinan. Mission Miami has been around for 16 years. We believe in mobilizing the whole church to take the whole gospel to the whole city. We're here to network the churches from every denomination, culture, and every language. We believe our churches, pastors, pray together, our county will be transformed to the glory of God. Last year in December, we did a March for Jesus United, and CNN reported 55,000, Fox News reported 45,000. We believe this march brought unity and drew people from all three counties, even as far as Fort Myers. This year, we're expecting a 30% increase, so come and be a part of the transformation that can happen in your community. This year also, we have 20 pastoral per group throughout Dade County in itself. And glory to God, we have a per group here in Homestead that meets every single Thursday at 6 a.m. praying for Homestead, praying for your family, the school, the government, and praying for the police, fire. We pray for everything. that exist in Homestead because we believe that Homestead can be transformed. These pastors that we have here are reaching Homestead by feeding the poor, counseling the family back to health, mentoring the youth, visiting the sick in the hospital, and we're working to impact Homestead, and we believe with the help of our mayor and with the help of our community that we can experience the birthing of something great that God wants to do in Homestead. Our prayer group leader in Homestead is Pastor Elkin Espinal, a man of God that has really worked hard in the city, and we believe that all of us working together in unity, we're going to see a major change take place here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to be repeating the same thing in Spanish. Mission Miami, my name is Pastor Joe Davila, and I'm also representing the Mission Miami, representing Pastor Elkin. Mission Miami tiene unidad, está movilizando iglesias por todo el condado, comenzando aquí lo que es en Homestead. Estamos juntando pastores de diferentes denominaciones y culturas, cruzando fronteras, trayendo unidad en la ciudad, ayudando a las familias, a los jóvenes, para tener una esperanza mejor para el día de mañana. El año pasado, en diciembre, tuvimos una marcha para Jesucristo, y vino arriba de 55,000 personas que reportó CNN. Fox reportó 45,000 personas. Este año estamos esperando un incremento de 30%. Está trayendo unidad no solamente en Homestead, pero en diferentes condados. A través de la comunidad de Homestead, pensamos que podemos transformar la ciudad de Homestead para que sea algo mejor, ganando esta ciudad para Cristo y haciendo una diferencia. Y todo esto ha comenzado en la ciudad de Homestead y está sucediendo en otros condados. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you coming tonight, and I appreciate you coming to my office. On Monday, it was very rewarding. 7 pastors came from Kendall down and shared, just different parts of our community, different things that they believe would help us better our community. And it was very rewarding for me. I tell you, I look forward to our next meeting. We've scheduled a meeting 30 days from that one, and we're going to go over some things that I believe that you've brought to the table that are very important to this community. Most of the pastors that were in the office actually live in Homestead. Of the 7 pastors that were there, 20 to 25 of you meet weekly here in Homestead at a church, and they believe that God has sent them to Homestead, and this is the place that needs the pastoring, and they're here for us, and I appreciate that. And they're all Latin pastors, and they all have their own churches from Kendall South, and I appreciate you coming. There's never too much God, never too much church. All right, thank you very much. Yes. Any additional public comment? Oh, Dr. Greer.
Dr. Ted Greer, pastor of Ebenezer Community Church and also CEO of Fresh Start Family Services. First, I want to thank the mayor and vice mayor for joining us in our first annual gala this past Saturday evening, and I want to congratulate them as they were recipients of Star Awards. So they're rising stars in our community. So thank you, Mayor and Vice Mayor, and thank you to the City Clerk as well, and of course our Board Chair, Deputy City Clerk. I just want to bring to your attention, to the Council's attention and to the community, Health and Human Services, the U.S. federal government is requesting proposals for Healthy Food Financing Initiative, grants and loans to help open fresh food outlets, supermarkets, farmers market, and expanded convenience stores in the low-income and underserved communities. The federal government has put out $10 million that will be available through the Department of Health and Human Services. This exciting development was also made possible through years of advocacy on behalf of clergy members, advocates nationwide, community leaders, politicians, particularly with emphasis on communities of color. The federal effort is modeled on a successful and proven program in Pennsylvania that has already helped create or expanded 88 fresh food outlets, create or retain more than 5,000 jobs, and bring healthy food access to 400,000 residents who didn't have access before. I'm encouraging the city to look at this, and I want you to know that Fresh Start Family Services and our congregation would be very much interested in working as a collaborator to go after these dollars. $10 million that's available, job creation for our community, and healthy food access for our residents. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And that was quite a gala for your first gala. It was a nice turnout, and your keynote speaker was very, very, very good. Okay, any further public comment? Any further public comment? Hearing no further public comment, we're going to move to the first item on the agenda. And before I do that, is Commissioner Jimenez arrived yet? Okay. All right, additions, deletions, deferrals. Mr. Manager, the item I, is that a deferral?
Yes, it is, Mr. Mayor.
Right.
It needs to be deferred to June 22nd at 5:30, June. Right. Paperwork is not quite completed on this, so it needs a motion to defer that, and then a motion. It can be done in one motion to defer that to June 22nd and add the second reading of the ordinance dealing with the animals to the agenda.
Okay, and I also would like to add an item, if I may, and that's to discuss additional trolley stops under this category, if we could, all right? Since we're dropping one and we're picking up two. Okay, a motion to drop the one. Thank you. Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you very much. So I'll move to the first item, which is a second reading. Richard, you want to handle that?
Are we going to do prison three?
An ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending the city code by amending Chapter 4 Animals, Article 2 in general, Section 4-1 definitions, and Article 2 fowl and grazing animals, consisting of Sections 438 to 441, to include carrier and racing pigeons, and the definition of fowl, and the prohibitions and restrictions concerning fowl, providing for severability, inclusion in the code, and an effective date. This is a second reading and public hearing.
Motion to move it?
I'll move it.
Second?
Second.
Okay.
Second.
Any further staff report or no? It is what it is, okay? Questions from council? No questions? I'll open the public hearing. Public hearing is now open. Any questions from the public? Hearing and seeing no questions from the public, we'll close the public hearing. Any final questions from council? Madam Clerk, roll call vote.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Councilman Shelley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Woolman? Yes. Councilman Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos? Yes. Mayor Bateman?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Okay. And the item I wanted to add was an additional trolley stop, and the additional stop, I think, is very worthy, and bring it to you tonight for discussion and hopefully approval, and that is taking the east-west trolley approximately a mile further, taking the trolley down to the Homestead Housing Authority. The Homestead Housing Authority is made up of primarily migrant labor workers that you know, a lot of them do not, housewives that are home do not have a second vehicle, and this trolley system would really, really benefit them. The director is here tonight, and if you'd like to just add anything at all, you're welcome to come to the mic and state your name and let us get to know you anyway. It's nice to see you here, because I want to tell you, in the 6 years I served prior to this, I never saw the director one time. This is Homestead Housing Authority, which is quite a few homes. Can you tell us how many homes, just to the council, how many that you oversee?
Sure, we have close to 600 homes in 4 centers, and Southgate, Redland, Goulds, and Harvest. And we also serve over 1,600 Section 8 vouchers.
Wow.
My name is Oscar Henschel, and I'm the Executive Director of the Homestead Housing Authority. And I want to thank Mayor Bateman and the council, members of the council, for allowing us this opportunity to be here. As I mentioned, we serve over 2,200 families with safe, affordable housing. And in our Southgate Center, located in 312th Street and 137th Avenue, which is the corner of Campbell Drive and Tallahassee Road. We have over 280 families, and as Major Bateman was mentioning, the housewives during the day don't have reliable transportation to go out and do their everyday lives. And with offering them some transportation, they will be able to come to the Homestead area to do their shopping and invest in the Homestead businesses. So I would like to leave that for you to know that they really need transportation. And Metro Day doesn't have any bus lines coming nearly close to where they are at.
Right. Okay. First of all, thank you very much. Can we move it on? Can a motion to move it on for discussion?
I'll move it.
Thank you. Second. Thank you. A discussion from council. Just giving you a brief overview of what we're at, what I'm asking for, I'm asking council to agree on.
Just got a question. Is it
Sure.
going to be is it going to cross over to and go in, or is it just going to be like close to? They have a walking distance.
I'm going to defer that to Mr. Bria because he's actually gone off every stop so far and made sure that they were safe turnarounds, and you've made sure that they've worked. So if you know, you can tell us. If you don't, I know you're going to look into it.
Well, we're right now in the process of analyzing the route to find out exactly where the stops are going to be, but it's definitely doable. It just adds about a mile and a half to our loop, to our eastern loop. It meets all the requirements of the PTP funding that we're getting for the trolley. So from our point of view, operationally, we don't see any problem with it whatsoever.
Any additional questions? Okay. Questions? Okay.
Good.
Okay, we're good? All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Item carries. Thank you, Homestead Housing Authority. Okay, that takes care of that. Okay, special presentations. Jonadab Cruz, is Jonadab here? Come forward.
Mr. Mayor, while he's coming up, if I could request an executive session on Wade versus City of Homestead, which is a liability case, and an executive session on Shahada versus the City of Homestead, after the mediation that we had.
Okay. Do you need a motion for that?
No.
Okay.
We'll
Sounds good.
schedule it whenever she can do it according to your schedule.
Okay, thank you. I felt this was important to recognize Emil Cruz, Jonadab Emil Cruz, because he's done considerably outstanding academic things. And Jonadab Emil Cruz is a junior student at Christopher Columbus High School. He was recently recognized by the National Society of High School Scholars for his superior academic achievement. He was also selected as Christopher Columbus High School's recipient of 2011 Most Improved Student Award. The main criteria for selection for this award is overall academics improvements and the pursuit of academic excellence. This award will also be presented at the 2011 Congressional Recognition Ceremony on May 21st. Jonadab has worked very hard to earn these awards, and I hope that the encourage him to continue to this path. We're extremely proud of you, Jonadab, and we have a beautiful plaque for you. And you say Christopher Columbus. I know it's not a Homestead High School. I know that it's not in our backyard, but he's our citizen. And him and his family live in Homestead, and we're very proud of him and very proud of what he's done. So with that, we have the certificate of recognition that says this certificate award is to Jonadab Emil Cruz in recognition of your outstanding superior academic achievements. The City of Homestead salutes you, sir.
Mayor Bateman, if I could Commissioner Jimenez has come in.
Okay.
Get an
Okay.
opportunity.
We'll take a short recess from our special presentation, and Commissioner, if you'd like to take the podium, it's all yours. Good to see you again. Good job.
Well, my name is Carlos Jimenez. I want to thank Mayor Bateman and the members of the council for having me here. I came down to remind everybody that on May 24th, we have an election, a very, very important election for Miami-Dade County Mayor. I am a mayoral candidate, and I'm would certainly love the support of the South Dade community, Homestead community. I've been a commissioner for 6 years and very much involved and know the issues here in South Dade. Although my district represents just a little bit north of you, I represented District 7. It was good also that the gentleman before here is a Columbus graduate. I'm a Columbus graduate too, so I'm very proud of that. But this election was going to determine really the direction of Miami-Dade County. And for those of you who don't know who I am, what I've done, I started out as a firefighter. I was a fire chief of the city of Miami. I was a city manager of the city of Miami. Took that city from financial difficulty and left it in the best financial condition in its history, but also restored trust. And that's what I want to do as your mayor, restore trust in county government. But since I'm also a municipal individual, came from the municipal side as city manager and spent most of my time in municipal government, I understand the relationship that has to be established between the county and the cities and how important that is. And I've always felt that what's good for cities is good for Miami-Dade County, and that's how I'll run my administration. I want to thank you, Mayor Bateman, for having me here, and I also want to remind everybody how important it is to vote. It looks like we may only have 15% turnout, and the right to vote is a privilege given to us, and it was a debt paid in blood. And we always have to, remind ourselves that we live in a land of freedom that gives us the right to vote, and we need to take advantage of that right because a lot of people in this world don't have that right. And so I would ask everybody, vote your conscience, but vote. You still have early voting until Saturday. I think the law just changed, so Sunday has been cut out, although we're trying to see if we can get that back extended to Sunday. But on May 24th, please, everybody go out and vote your conscience, and if you vote for number 19 and honor me with your vote, I would be very appreciative. Thank you very much to the council. Thank you, Mayor Bateman.
Mayor Bateman?
Yes, please.
Carlos, I just want to say that I don't pull any bones about it. I support you completely. You ride by my yard, and that's a sign that's in my yard. So, and you know how I am, everybody. I tell you like it is. He's the best thing for our city and our county. And I encourage everyone to get out and vote because people are not voting. They're just not coming out, and then they want to complain when the day is done. So it's your responsibility. I'm sure almost every single one of you live in the county. So before it's always, well, I'm just outside the city limits. But you're in the county, and it's your responsibility. So please go out and vote, and congratulations.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. The next presentation here is going to be from the Veterans Affairs presentation. Is that individual here? Mr. Morris Atkins.
Good afternoon. I would like to first thank Mayor Bateman and his council members for allowing me to be here today representing the Florida Department of Veteran Affairs. Florida Department of Veteran Affairs, we are advocates for veterans. We're a state benefit, no charge. We help veterans to attain the eligible benefits that they are entitled to. Even though we are the #1 in the United States as for states for claims, we still find it that there are a lot of veterans in our state that does not know that we exist or know nothing about veterans benefits. And, you know, it's astounding because and we have the second largest population of veterans in the country also. So we are trying to go out to different places so that we can be seen, we can meet veterans so that they can take advantage of their benefits. In the back I put some veterans benefits books from the state. They're the state benefit guides. The federal benefit books hasn't come out yet, but they will be out within another month or two. If you want, you can come to the VA hospital in Miami, and you can always get a veterans federal book, okay? Also, with one of our biggest, I guess, issue right now is GI Bill. A lot of our veterans are getting out of the military, and they have the new GI Bill, which now pays VAQ. And that helps the veterans to live without having to work maybe so many hours so they can take advantage of their education. Also, PTSD is a big issue we're dealing with as for our veterans coming back, trying to get them squared away and their claims filed for the PTSD, because a lot of times veterans are in denial and they don't really want to deal with they have a problem. But we're here and we try to counsel them and encourage them to file their claims and make sure that they have everything that they need, or at least we can point them in the direction to help them even in job finding employment. We can point them in different directions. But Florida Department of Veteran Affairs, we're in the VA hospital. Our address is 1201 Northwest 16th Street, room A213. The phone number is 305-325-3325. I am the acting supervisor. My name is Morris Atkins. I'm sorry for not telling you that earlier. But I'm the acting supervisor in the office, and we're here for anything concerning vets. We help with anything. I've even sat down with veterans and helped them read their mail that has nothing to do with veteran affairs. I've even filled out applications for apartment rental. So we're here to serve our veterans and their families. Thank you.
I can say that my last trip to Tallahassee was one of the stops were military affairs, which within the military affairs lies the Veterans Affairs, and of course you weren't getting out of there without the Veterans Affairs talking to you before no matter what you came in for. But it was very enlightening. The booklet you have now, we actually received a complete case of them, and I want to go for the camera and the people viewing us that we are a stop. We are a stop for veterans. If veterans need information, we have the booklets, we have the phone numbers, and we're here for you. Because I was shocked at the number of soldiers, former soldiers that are living under bridges and living in the woods. It's incredible. It's incredible. Just forgotten. They have forgotten, and we have forgotten. And it really touched me in the 10 or 15 minutes that I sat there and listened to the Veterans Affairs. It was incredible. So I appreciate, Mr. Atkins, you coming forward. I didn't know you were coming, but thank you very much. And my assistant has the brochures, and we're ready and willing to help any way we can. So make sure we have Mr. Atkins' number. So if someone shows up with something we can't do for them, then we call Mr. Atkins. All right? Thank you, sir. You're welcome. Thank you very much.
I'd like to invite Barbara Quinones to come forward, please. And as she comes forward, I'll just talk just a little bit. March 21st, 2011, Homestead Energy Services is one of the 82 of the nation's most more than 2,000 public power utilities to earn reliable public power provider designation from the American Public Power Association for providing customers with the highest degree of reliable and safe electric service. This places Homestead in the top 5% of municipalities nationwide. Paul Allen, Vice President, Engineering at Nashville, Tennessee, Electric Service and Chair of APPA's RP3. This is important stuff. I know it doesn't mean much to you, but the RP3 review panel presented the designees with their plaques on March 21st during the association's annual Engineering and Operations Technical Conference held in Nashville. These RP3 designated utilities should be proud, said Allen. They stand out as utilities that are continuing to strive for excellence for their customers and their communities. The RP3 program recognizes public power utilities that demonstrate proficiency in the 4 key disciplines: reliability, safety, workforce development, and infrastructure improvement. Criteria within each category are based on sound business practices and represent a utility-wide commitment to safe and reliable delivery of electricity. Homestead Energy Services has achieved a platinum designation in the program. Congratulations. With this designation, they have joined the ranks of a select group of outstanding utilities demonstrating their commitment to providing safe and reliable power to the community. This designation is valid for 2 years, from May 1st to April 30th, 2013. This is an honor for our utility, as a lot of hard work has gone into receiving this designation, and in the end, our customers are the real winners. This is the 6th year that RP recognition has been offered. There are only 6 other municipal electric utilities out of 33 in the state of Florida that have received this designation. APPA is the national organization representing more than 2,000 not-for-profit community and state-owned electric utilities, and it's located in Washington, D.C. So, Mayor, with that being said, would you help me to...
Could I ask?
Oh, please.
We have some of the people here from. We have a few of the people here from the electric utility. If you all could come up as well. A lot of hard work did go into us being designated as a RP3 utility, reliable public power, and these are just some of the employees that are responsible for our success in that area. And I want to thank my group most of all. We have with us this evening John Ingram, who's with our line crew group, Manny Sid from engineering, John Camoesis, also from the line crew area, and Brett West from the line crew. So thank you, gentlemen, for making us reliable, safe, and focused on our community. Thank you.
Again, I want to say thank you, and I am extremely honored and proud to represent this group. Barbara has asked me to go to Washington, D.C., and be one of the key speakers on behalf of our power plant. As I was here back in '95 through 2002, when we had a couple opportunities to sell the power plant, and I was on the negative side of the no side. And so she feels that I know the bumps, the hills and valleys, and the whole operation. So I'm going to be more than honored to represent all of you in Washington, D.C. Thank you.
Thank you. You get a picture? Sure. Here, can we get in the middle here? Are you guys?
Thank you, Barbara. Good job. Good job.
Okay. Next, I would like to invite my second favorite mayor, Mayor Otis Wallace, to the podium. Mayor Wallace he's just something else. He's a wonderful human being. He's a wonderful neighbor to our city. These two mayors have worked really, really great together. And tonight I wanted to ask Otis to come, well, Mayor Wallace, sorry, we've been friends way too long, Mayor Wallace to come because I wanted to thank him because he supported our Cinco de Mayo event. And it's not many sister cities that would reach in their pockets and support another community's event. And not only that, he had a darn good time. he liked John Cicada, and so did his wife. So with that being said, the mayor's assistants, Mayor Bateman's assistants. You want to do that? Sure. We share glasses.
Mayor Otis T. Wallace, in sincere appreciation for your support of the Cinco de Mayo Festival and the Homestead community, May 7, 2011, we salute you, sir.
I'd like to thank the Vice Mayor, the Mayor, and the whole council for this very beautiful plaque. You know, we serve the public and we don't look for awards, but it's nice to know that people think well of what you do. But one of the greatest pleasures I have as mayor is the great working relationship we have with the city of Homestead. Just yesterday I was meeting with your mayor dealing with a problem of mutual interest to both cities. And I've always felt that working together we can do great things in this community. And our relationship has never been better. So I look forward to continuing to serve with you guys and to make life better for the community we represent. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor Wallace. Next, I would like to, this is fun for me, I would like to invite the Top Gun cheerleaders and their coaches and anyone else, school representatives, anybody else that's here, parents, want to come up too? You're welcome to come up. As they come forward. The Top Gun white team competed in 7 tournaments throughout the 2011 season. They took first place in 7 events in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Naples. They moved on to the finals, hi girls, they moved on to the finals in Orlando and won both their district and their overall trophies on April 23rd, 2011. That's a big deal, let me tell you. They won everything, everything. The team consists of 19 girls, 4 of whom are here today. First, I'd like to introduce to you our own Eric's daughter, Eric Weiss with Parks and Rec, Tatiana Weiss, who's, Tatiana, raise your hand. Who's in 5th grade at Keysgate Charter School. She is 11 years old. And next, I'd like to introduce to you Christina Centromon. Christina. She's in 5th grade at Rainbow Christian School. She is 10 years old. And I'd like to mention, is her father and mother here tonight? I want to thank you very much because they've not only raised a fine daughter, but they've also helped our city many times donating trees and plants to some of our events. So we appreciate that very much. Riley Deegan. She's in the 5th grade too at Rainbow Christian School. She's 10 years old. Courtney Gooding. Now Courtney's in the 9th grade at Southgate Senior High School, and she is 14 years old. So with that being said, I have a few little things for you. This is Tatiana's. They all read the same, but it says, this certificate is awarded to Tatiana Weiss. Congratulations on your outstanding accomplishments with the Top Gun cheerleading team. The City of Homestead salutes you. And it is a big deal. It really is. I'm just amazed. The parents got their pictures? Thank you. You want to say something? You're the... Tatiana? Let me get this down. I'm a pro at this.
Hi, good morning. My name is Tatiana Weiss, and on behalf of this team, I would like to thank myself and the mayor, the vice mayor, and the council for presenting this award to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is your chance. You'll be on television. All your friends will see you. No? 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 Okay. All right. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
You can tell I never had any girls, right? A son and 2 grandsons.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay, next item on the agenda tonight is consent agenda. On the consent agenda, a motion to approve the consent agenda? I'll move it. Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Questions and comments at all from council? Hearing no questions and comments, all in favor? Aye. Any nays? Okay, item carries. I'll move to tab 7, public hearing, ordinance, land use, items, etc.
Yes, please be advised the following item on the agenda is quasi-judicial in nature. If you wish to comment upon this item, please indicate this item you would like to address when the announcement regarding the quasi-judicial item is made. An opportunity for persons to speak on this item will be made available after the applicant and staff have made their presentations on each item. Swearing in all testimony, including public testimony and evidence, will be made under oath or affirmation. Additionally, each person who gives testimony may be subject to cross-examination. If you do not wish to either be cross-examined or sworn, your testimony will be given its due weight. The general public will not be permitted to cross-examine witnesses, but the public may request that the council to ask questions of staff or witnesses on their behalf. The full agenda packet on this item is hereby entered into the record, and persons representing organizations must present evidence of their authority to speak for the organization. Further details of the quasi-judicial procedures may be obtained from the clerk. In accordance with Code Section 2-591, any lobbyist must register before addressing the council on any of the following items. At this time, the council members must disclose any ex parte communications concerning the agenda item.
Yes, Mr. Attorney. I had a call on tab 11 from the lobbyist for the high school charter ground lease.
I think he's looking at all of them now, so we're answering for all of them, correct?
Right.
Correct.
Really, all you need to really, on the disclosure, it's certainly great that you disclosed it, no problem. But really, legally, all we have to do is disclose on the quasi-judicial items, and that's, those other ones are under legislative.
The ground leases?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, it says legislative.
I'm sorry.
Great that you disclosed.
Yeah, I misread where it was. My apologies.
Thank you, then. Okay.
Hearing no further disclosures, at this time the clerk will swear in any persons who wish to testify on the following quasi-judicial item.
Please stand, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I state your name. Hereby swear or affirm that the information I present shall be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Thank you. You may be seated.
Yes, tab 9 is a final order of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting a certificate of use to allow the operation of a convenience store with the sale of beer and wine for off-premises consumption located at 792 South Homestead Boulevard as legally described in Exhibit A and providing for an effective date.
Okay, motion to move forward?
I'll move it.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay, staff report?
Staff recommends that the mayor and council approve the final order, which will allow the convenience store to sell beer and wine. The subject property is a vacant one-story structure located at the southeast corner of 8th Street and Homestead Boulevard. The certificate of use evaluation criteria is defined in Section 3-11C of the City Code. Applications must meet each of the 6 criteria in this section. We've reviewed and evaluated the application against the criteria. That's in your staff report. We have found that the application does meet each of the criteria. This application has been reviewed by the Development Review Committee, which had no comments, and the Planning and Zoning Board, which voted unanimously for approval.
Okay, questions from council? No questions from council. I'll open the public hearing to the public. Please come forward, anybody who wants to comment on this item. Seeing no one, hearing no one, we'll close the public hearing. Final questions from council? No questions from council. Madam Clerk, roll call vote.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Councilman Shelley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Walden?
Yes.
Councilman Burgess?
Yes.
Mayor Bateman?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, legislative matters. Motion to approve the items, Whitcock Park.
So moved, Mayor.
Okay, second? Second. Staff report?
Mayor, it's staff's recommendation the City Council award ITB 201118 Whitcock Park site improvements to NAC Construction in the amount of $1,364,000 and to authorize the city manager as its designee to enter into a contract with SAFE.
Okay, questions from council? No questions from council. It's a public, I'll open the public hearing. Questions from the public on Whitcock Park? No questions from the public. I'll close the public hearing. Final questions from council. No final questions from council. Madam Clerk, roll call vote.
Vice Mayor Walden?
Yes.
Councilman Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Councilman Shelley?
Yes.
Mayor Bateman?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay. First amendment to the high school charter school ground lease. We'll entertain a motion to move it forward.
So moved.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay, second. Staff report?
Okay, Mr. Mayor, this is a request from the charter high school to amend their lease. Most of these changes are in accordance with their financing. We've reviewed the materials they sent us, and we don't believe that these either the assignment or in any way hurts the city, and we're in the same or a better condition than they were before. The item before you is a 6-month extension, which they advise is to keep the term of the lease to be consistent with their financing. So it's an extension of 6 months on their lease. And they're here to address us if there were any questions that you have.
Questions from council? Okay, yes, Mr. Burgess.
If we say no, where do we go from here, Richard? And my reasoning for that is, I probably won't vote no, but I want to with my heart. The reason I won't vote no is because there's 1,000 kids that would have nowhere to go to school. But I've got to say that I'm not very happy with the way that this company has been down here doing business, or that they represent themselves when they come down here. We've reached out to them. They don't reach out back to us. I'm still waiting on somebody to call me from that company. Approximately a year ago, when you guys were down here, I asked somebody from that company to come help me try to make this 6 acres into a walking park or something for the city, give back to the city. I have yet to have a phone call from anybody at that office up there concerning that. I feel like putting you guys over the coal tonight, and that's what I intend to do, because you guys have not been good neighbors back to us. We gave you guys probably one of the best deals ever given in the country to you, and you guys have just walked away and left us hanging. This way I feel. I don't believe you're bringing in the local vendors at the rate you should. We asked you to help us with a summer camp. You know what my message back to me was? I never got a call from anybody. I talked to Jonathan Hage's assistant personally. 8:30 on a Friday night, I got a text message. Can't help you. So I don't know why we should be helping you guys tonight. And I'm not here to help you. I'll guarantee you that. I'm here to help the 1,000 kids that are going to be attending that school, and that's the only reason that you may get a yes vote out of me. But if we don't, back to my question, if we vote no, what happens?
Okay. In terms of this item, you're under no obligation to extend the lease. It extends the lease by 6 months, and you're certainly under no obligation to extend the lease.
And if we don't extend the lease, Then what's their position?
They would just have to deal with
They
it
have
and
to deal with
revise
it
their
themselves.
financing or do whatever they're going to do.
Thank you.
Mr. Manager. There's a laundry list, truly a laundry list. I have my own feelings, my own personal feelings, and I agree. I know that you hit the ground running, and you had a lot of things thrown at you. That one of them was this contract. And this contract, they have not performed the way the contract is outlined and the way you and I sat in yesterday and read it. They think it's 70 and it's 100%. It says your best effort to do the entire job with local people. And I'm going to make a prediction here, and it's not done. And again, I'm not going to jeopardize the 1,000 kids, but they have not. They have not lived up to what they said they would do. They have not. If there's 25% of local contractors out there, after I've been told month after month after month it's 70%, I'll eat my words. If there's 25% of local subcontractors, I don't want to hear they bought the material from so-and-so. It's local subcontractors. Electrical, plumbing, mechanical, which is AC, stucco, block, steel tying, local contractors. This wasn't a deal that we squeezed them into. They got a sweetheart deal. And the sweetheart deal was to put economic education first and economic value back into this community at $30+ million, whatever the entire build-out was. I know the construction part is not that, but I know the entire turnkey, I've heard anywhere from 30 to 34 million. So I don't blame them totally. I blame us too, because we really did not police the job the way we should have. We did not police the job. We did not get affidavits when they decided they couldn't use local block masons, or when they decided they couldn't use a local plumber or electrician. Granted, there are some subs here that may not be at the level of that particular a project is when it comes to mechanical, AC or whatever, but I trust me, there are many block layers that are out of work here. Many stucco people that are out of work here. Many painters that are out of work here. And I ask you, because we can't go back, but I ask you as we go forward, to please get something decent out of them on every 2 weeks or every time they change a contractor that we can read. Something that says A1 Painting. We check his address, we check his business license, he didn't move in yesterday, and he legitimately is keeping the money in the community. The whole idea was trickle down. The whole idea was to put money back into our economy. That's what the whole thing was. And I've been to every civic group in this community, and I preached and pitched, and I've been to the newspaper, and I pitched how great it was, and I sell them all the $34 million, 70%, and then I found out today it's even more than 70%. And that's what you all preached to me. And that's what David preached to me, 70%. It's not 70%. It's 100%. It says you'll do it. 100% effort, 100% of the entire job, not 70, not 60, not 40, 100%. If there's 25%, we're lucky. And I'm waiting for the numbers. I know tonight they gave you the numbers late in the evening. But it's disappointing. It's disheartening. Let's just go back to one of the items, and I know it's going to be a scramble to look at the contract. But they were to supply a soccer field. They supplied a grass field. A grass field till recently was so full of stones you couldn't even play soccer on it. Where are the goalposts? Where are the nets? Richard, where are they? I mean, is the contract completed or not? Does the soccer field go with phase 1 or phase 2? I thought it went with phase 1.
I have the sections that deal with the assignment with.
Well, they've got our bleachers out there mounted on a slab they put in, our bleachers, and no soccer goals. Do you know how many phone calls? I don't know how many the rest of you all get, but I get a phone call a month on when is that soccer field going to be finished? And I just overwhelmed, my fault, shame on me for not pressing harder and saying, Mr. Manager, Mr. Attorney, what's the contract say? It's shame on me. I mean, yeah, we're going to get a charter high school. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we paid for it. The citizens of this community paid for it, and they paid dearly. They paid dearly. So please let me know as soon as you can, tomorrow morning, what the status is on the soccer field. 'Cause I don't want to answer one more parent that it's coming, because the soccer field, without the markings and without the goals at each end, it was supposed to be 2 soccer fields. If I recall, it was 2 soccer fields built on a field that we allowed them to use, property that we allowed them to use. You know, roughly 22 to 25 acres of property is tied up. Not 6.5 like they tell, it's 6.5. No, it's not 6.5. It's over 20 acres of property for $100,000 a year. That's a deal. That's a super deal. So I think we need to get what we asked for from day one, what we were promised. And this isn't the first time. This is the second round. First round it was just as tough. It was pulling teeth to get 50%. And this time around, again, shame on me, I dropped my guard. I didn't stay on it hard enough. But I shouldn't have to. There should be somebody you assign to it that gets on that project and stays on that project. It shouldn't involve me one bit. I should hear, it's done, Mayor. Soccer field's done. Goalposts are up. Fields are marked. Works. That's what I want to see as we go forward. And I'm going to vote in favor because I don't want to mess anything up. What troubles me, too, is when you talk about assignment. I don't know real estate as well as the Vice Mayor does. But it scares me when you throw those little tweaks in there. I know what assignment means. And I'm going to tell you, it would be really shame on us if something happens before it's time.
What we did on the assignment was they were going to actually just assign the lease the first time we saw the documents. What we did was we allowed we added language to the agreement which keeps the original party that we did business with on the hook. So we assigned it, but we kept the responsibility also with the original lessor. So lessee. So we gave nothing away. So you have more than you had to begin with, just to address the issue that you're dealing with.
Okay. Well, Richard, while we're in conversation, you need to go back to that contract, and you need to bring the teeth out of that contract. Bring them to us, because once this is passed tonight, the other items are just holding up permits. We need to have the teeth that said, look, do what you promised that you were going to do. They're not going to make up that 70 or 100% now. And I never dreamed that it was going to be 100%. But for God's sakes, don't embarrass us.
Well, we've spent a good part of the day, I did with the manager, going over this, and I think that we need to go through the contract, which we will with the manager, go through every obligation that the lessees were supposed to do, make a chart, see where they are, and give you a report as to what they've done.
And you need signed affidavits. Every time they move on a project that they cannot use a local, you need a signed affidavit from them. An affidavit that says, this is what we did. We interviewed A, B, and C, or A and B, and that's all you had in town. We got a signed affidavit. We did the best, or they weren't even close. Instead, we listened to a bunch of verbal, and it's just not very professional, the way we're actually monitoring it. We need to monitor it a lot stiffer. And there's not a lot left to do. They've done a great job on time. I know that. It's been incredible. But they've done a great job on time because we've been there. Our building department's been on top of it. We have given them carte blanche, and that's what bothers me tonight. And that's where I agree with Mr. Burgess. That we've given them carte blanche. We've given them all we can give, and I think we deserve what we asked for, what we originally agreed, what we originally shook the handshake for, and written contract. We stuck the Miami Lakes agreement in there, and Marlene was kind enough to print that thing out for me. It's about that thick. There's got to be something in Miami Lakes that's got some serious teeth in it to have them produce the proper paperwork we deserve, and that means every contract that they have. That means every number they have. What's in the job? Where did it go? It's on our taxpayers' property. I'm done.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'd just like to kind of piggyback on what you said and what Councilman Burgess said, and I have similar concerns. Some of this I wasn't aware of, and so to hear it now, it really does concern me. And so I would like to back up what you guys have asked for, and that is, an accounting of what the contract says and what they have actually done. I would like to be able to cross-references and have a memo or something in front of me that I can look at and say, okay, why wasn't this done, so I can follow along, for all those issues. And I also would like to express some of my disappointment and the fact that we aren't able to have our summer camp this year. You know, you were reached out to by, I know, the Parks and Rec director, and I spoke with him. And he indicated that he asked to maybe use that facility so we could have our summer camp. And we were told that no, unless they were Keysgate Charter School students, they couldn't attend our summer camp. And so we had to cancel our summer camp this year. We as a city are not putting one on this year. And that concerns me because we have a company like LeLake who comes in and who's worked with us. You know, they helped us with the Cinco de Mayo event. I mean, they're actually giving back to our community, and that was something that I asked them from the dais that I wanted to see happen, and they've stepped up to the plate, and they are, you know, delivering, and they are putting back into this community, which I think is a great thing. And here we just needed a facility for this one summer, and where there was no way that we could be accommodated. And as a result, we have kids now that don't have a summer camp. So, you know, all this to me, again, is still concerning. And so, again, I would like to make sure that we cross-reference what is supposed to be done and what has been done so that going forward we can make sure that these things are effectuated to the point that we can effectuate them. So I'd just like to give support to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shelley. Yes, Vice Mayor.
Well, this all came as news to me tonight. I had no idea that things weren't moving smoothly. I agree with Mr. Shelley that I think we need a report to tell us, after Richard goes over the contract, to tell us what has and hasn't been accomplished. I was really disappointed with the summer camp. I was going to announce in my business that we are going to have a summer camp for the employees for the city of Homestead, and that's going to have to be done at Michael Williams, but we can't accommodate, right, Dennis, we can't accommodate any other child except for the employees that work here at our city. And so that means that there's a lot of children this summer and a lot of parents that have depended on summer camp for the care of their children, and because we offered such great rates for them, discounted rates, they're devastated, they're disappointed, they're scrambling right now trying to find a place for their children. I guess what disappointed me more than anything was that the time frame in getting back to us. So I know you can do better, and I have all the faith in you that you will. So with all that being said, Mr. Attorney, through the mayor, if this is all three, tab 11, 12, excuse me, 11, 12, and 13, all have to do with the lease, with the requirements of their bond issuance. So could we just combine the three of them
Right.
together?
You would need to amend the motion on the floor to include the other two items, which would be under tab 12 and 13.
Right.
12 is the assignment.
Right,
The one that you're dealing with is the extension.
right.
There's an assignment, and the third one is really a formality, which is a memorandum of lease, which gets filed in the public records.
But it's all required and under their financing
So the
too.
memorandum of lease is required under our lease. The other two, just, they're saying are needed for their financing.
Well, I'd like to make a motion to amend that motion to include those three tabs as one, but with the stipulation that we do have better communication.
I'll second that.
So you need to vote on the motion as amended, the motion of the amendment, and then the motion as amended.
So it'd be a no vote.
No, it's a yes.
Yes,
no,
no.
no, vote.
Okay.
So on the amendment, all in favor?
If you want to vote that way.
If you want to vote that way.
On the amendment, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carries. Okay, on the original, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays?
Reluctantly,
Motion
aye.
carries. Yeah, you know, I say carry the message back to Jonathan. I mean, he was up here every night, and he is a prince. And I'm going to tell you, you can call him now. You can't even get a return phone call. I know. I've called him 2 and 3 times. You cannot even get a return phone call. So here goes a guy who promised us the world. We delivered, and he won't even return your phone call. Not good. Not good business. So I assure you, whatever's in that contract, the next time around, I'm not going to mess the whole thing. We will use the teeth that's in that contract. You can count on it. We will. Thank you. Okay. Tab 14. Whitcock Park Playground Equipment.
I move it, Mayor.
Thank you. Second? Questions from council? Staff report.
Mayor, staff's recommendation that City Award ITB 200120 Woodcop Park Playground Equipment and Installation to Medex Corporation, the amount of $157,850, and to authorize the city manager as designated to enter into contract with.
Thank you, sir. Questions from council? No questions from council? Hearing no questions from council, I'll open the public hearing. Any questions from the public? Seeing none, hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any final questions from council? Okay, roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Maldonado,
Yes.
Councilman Shelley,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Warman,
Yes.
Councilman Burgess,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos,
Yes.
Mayor Bateman.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That went quick. Okay, business from city manager.
No report.
Thank you, sir. City attorney,
No report.
just tell us you're gonna put us some teeth together in that contract. You're gonna highlight it. You're gonna bring us a little back.
The teeth are there.
You know what's really sad if you think about it, though? That first, in my conversation with the first part of that contract, they got the building for $1 a year. And I wasn't aware they denied the summer camp.
Well, if I may.
Sure.
We weren't aware either until the last minute, and we had faith that we would still be able to work something out. But we just found out about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, definitely, less than 2 weeks ago. Right, Dennis? I'm sorry.
Just so you know, the lease is strong. The lease requires, you were all very specific about this. You know, the lease requires that the lessee shall use its best efforts to utilize city resident labor in the construction and operation of the school. That was part one. And each general and subcontractor hired by or on behalf of lessee shall be homestead businesses. That's as clear as can be. Now, there is a provision if there's not somebody available for a waiver by the manager, but the lease is very strong in those two areas.
If I may, Mayor, I'd like Dennis too, because he was the one working directly, trying to get an answer, and I want to thank Mr. Burgess because he really stepped in and he really tried hard as well. We were all trying, but if the director could speak.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council and City Manager. When I first found out, we knew that the dorms were already taken, and when the LA came in, took the minor league clubhouse, me and my staff tried to find other facilities. We do have the resource building, which now is with FOP. The minor league clubhouse is with LA. We thought about the community center, but we didn't think that was a safe thing when we talked to the risk manager because they're kind of mingling with the seniors and that, and we don't do background checks. So we thought that would be an unsafe area for them. So I reached out, and Mr. Burgess, which I appreciate very much, jumped on it and tried his best. I know me and him had talked on the phone a couple of times. The first thing I think came back was, would we be willing to pay the electric? I told him $1 a day. But they were coming back and forth, and then they never received phone calls back until recently, and he let me know that they said no. So then I notified council right away and the city manager. I have been receiving a lot of phone calls, and so we're trying to, steer them the right way where we can. So they a lot of people are looking for summer camps. Through the chief's help, Weed and Seeds are going to help the city employees, so they'll have something at the FICO Williams. We'll keep it at the same price.
Wow. Yeah, we were just able to put that together at the last minute, and I really want to commend city manager and his staff, and with the direction of Dennis Maytan under Parks and Recs, because let me tell you, that has taken full time trying to get a place for our own children, our employees. So Mayor,
I'm disappointed. I didn't know it. I really didn't until you brought it up tonight. I swear I would have held them hostage right here and said, summer camp. I mean, this is not something that was part of the agreement. This was an additional item that they added on. This is like reworking the lease at the motorsports complex, and every time we reworked it, we've gotten something out of it. The city has accomplished something good out of it.
Mayor, I'd like to ask another question, not having anything to do with the summer camp. I was over there yesterday, just looking around, And thank you, Tom. Like, I called and the dust was just unbelievable. I mean, people can't imagine. You couldn't even see your hands in front of your face. The dust was so thick. And the LaLaye folks, they didn't complain. I was the one out there using my inhaler trying to breathe because it was just horrible. And as I stood there, and I wanted to be there when people were picking up their kids from school, and I was there about a half an hour before the kids got out of school. Do they have the right to have those cars all the way through the LaLaye parking lot? Now, LaLaye didn't say a word to me. I want you to know that. This is just something I observed. I mean, it was a mess. They were.
That's a staging area that they've taken on their own and used. And I'm going to tell you, you know me and picking up the trash and bottles. I'm out there myself to look at those radiuses and taking out those oak trees, you know, and thinking that it was such a bad deal. There must have been 100 plastic Coke bottles thrown across that area where they park and eat their lunch at. Mm-hmm. And I said to Matt, Matt, you need to get that cleaned up before, you know, somebody sees it and really gets on your case. Oh, okay, Mayor, I'll get it cleaned up. It's terrible. We need to get a handle on it out there. Kick them off that property if that's the case. Tell them to park inside the construction area. And an hour before every class lets out, they ought to be out there watering down that. Every big construction job will have a water truck, and they'll drive that water truck around over the top of that dusty stuff to keep the dust down. I know that MBRT was doing it when they cut, because I called them and said, good job. They're driving up and down the street with a water truck, watering down the road right there to keep the dust down. So we just need to police it more, Tom. And that's typical what they call, you know, good construction in a construction-like manner. Correct? Construction-like manner. So get them to water the streets down. Get them to do when that, maybe not all day long, but when those classes let out, and you've got another full-fledged business in LaLaye there. So you're really interrupting LaLaye. The place is a mess out there. Stuff's thrown all over the place. So I don't care how great and how fast they are. It's sloppy.
And if I may continue, Mayor,
please.
What I'm most concerned about is this fall when they do have, you know, part of their phase 2 ready to go with students. I just don't know, unless we start stacking on Palm Drive or we do something different, it's going to, it's a mess. It's a real mess. I see Mr. Burgess over there doing this. I don't know what that means.
No, Vice Mayor, there's a provision in the contract that says that they will do another traffic study. So Joe, you need to get on top of that and let's get the traffic study. They don't get a final until we get another traffic study. And also in there it said that as the school goes along, we would also continue to do traffic studies to make sure that we haven't impacted more than we thought we were going to impact.
I would appreciate that, Mayor, because I would appreciate that, Mayor, because I'm telling you, right now with the construction workers' cars alone fill up the entire parking lot in front of LaLaye, the entire parking lot, all of it. And the LaLaye has nowhere to park because for their administration, because they can't park right there in that little semicircle. The rest of it's filled. So, but I'm more worried about the pickup.
Tom's suggestion, all right, because she's dead on it, is have them go in there, and they're far enough along now they can grade that site, you know, rough grade. They can pick all that shoring up, rough grade the site, and bring the trucks inside their own footprint. Get them a parking lot made over there. So go over there, act as a construction police officer or whatever. Back him up, Chief.
Give him the badge.
They go over there and say, look, I want this mess cleaned up that you guys made. You need to grade the property, get the trucks off of LaLaye's property, and let these people function as a business, as you're going to want to function as a business once you open. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, Councilman Burgess.
Nothing at this time.
Okay, Maldonado, Mr. Maldonado.
Thank you, Mayor. Just quickly, the Education Committee will be on the 26th of this month. We have changed our time from 4:30 to 6 p.m. Also, just a reminder, MAST is doing his groundbreaking ceremony on May 24th at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And just to let MAST Academy know my dedication, that is my birthday, and I will be out there. So, thank you, and that's all for today.
You will be out there?
I will be out there on my birthday. I just want to make that note.
Hint, hint, we need a cupcake with the hint.
Okay, Mr. Shelley, Councilman Shelley. Nothing at this time. Thank you, sir. Ms. Lobos?
I don't have a report at this time.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Wallman?
Yes. I really want to thank everybody who helped with the Cinco de Mayo event. It was absolutely fabulous. Special thanks to Mr. David Aber, our new Assistant City Manager, who I don't think has been formally introduced. So I've introduced you now. You can't leave us. And boy, did we get him broken quick. But he's an expert at events, having come from Fort Lauderdale. And without him, we couldn't have pulled it off. So I thank you very much. We only had 3 weeks to do it, and we had well over 1,000 people attend the concert. It was so much fun. I particularly had a lot of fun. And John Sakata, he donated his time for a 90-minute concert. It was amazing. I'd like to thank Lale and Dade Medical and all the different people who came out and just helped us put it all together. But most of all, I want to thank the staff, because you guys are just tremendous. I know Mr. Burgess was proud of the way Chrome Avenue looks. I'd like to thank Mr. Maldonado for donating, helping to get the pentas donated. We replaced all the flowers in the window boxes. I'd like to thank my son, who put me in contact with somebody. We had 50 beautiful hanging baskets donated. And I don't think Chrome Avenue has looked prettier. It was just gorgeous. That same nurseryman that my son has put us together with has donated another 1,000 plants, which he'll be delivering next week, and he's promised, he's adopted us, and so he's going to be donating thousands and thousands and thousands of plants, Mr. Burgess.
Excellent.
For free. Mayor, I'm going to honor him one of these days if I can get him down here. He's from Palm Beach.
You've got my vote.
But I also want to say something about Relay for Life. Relay for Life was great. Michael Hitt is not able to join us tonight, but we will be honoring him in June. And I'd like to also thank Mr. Maldonado for dressing up like Elvis Presley and taking pictures all night long. We had a great time. And I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. Mr. Burgess, I don't know how many times you got dunked. And Dennis, I loved it when you in that dunking booth. I don't know how much money I spent, but I spent a lot of money, and I dunked him every time because I walked right up and I pushed it.
Cheater.
Oh, yes, and I cannot forget our Richard Vega. Richard, you put up with all those screaming girls when they saw Elvis here in his 4-inch platforms. And he says to me, "My feet are killing me." And I said, "Oh, cry me a river." Now you know how women feel constantly with pumps on. But also, I wanted to say thank you to the mayor for the town hall meetings. I thought they were really productive, and we have just gathered amazing information. Chief, I'm going to follow up with you next week to make sure those code issues were taken care of in Oasis. Sir? They're done? I can't hear you. But anyway, I'm sure there are, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for being such a big part of both town hall meetings, the police department. So I want to say kudos to you. And I also want to say that I'm going to have a Parks and Rec staff meeting. We're going to be talking about the 4th of July and different things, and I've had a couple of complaints about some things going on in some of the parks. So Elizabeth, if you could notice that meeting so that any council member could attend, because I'm sure that I know Mr. Shelley might have some suggestions and others. So Dennis and Mr. Manager will get together and pick a date and get that notice so everybody can come. So other than that, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Vice Mayor. I'd like to recognize a news leader. I've got Dale. You want to come say a few words? Yeah, you're new in town, and we might want to come say hi, and
That's not necessary, but hello, everyone.
It was a relay
Put you on the spot.
If I may, let me tell you something. kudos to you, because that's the first time that the news leader, to my knowledge, has ever participated with a booth in Relay for Life. And by the way, Mike Jill does look very attractive in a decorated bra. He won. It was decorated bra for breast cancer, and he got up there and he danced and he won. So kudos to you.
That's a little touchy.
Oh, we got to do that. Thank you.
Thank you for the job you do for Homestead. We appreciate it, truly. I'd like to say kudos also to Chief Roll and the manager. I know we put together a meeting, several meetings, and we did a field trip and did a drive out on 167 and about 252, which is undeveloped land, partially connecting to Homestead, and very, very little, partially maybe 35 feet. But there's been a lot of gunfire, a lot of rough activity, people camping overnight, really abutting a residential area. It's not a campground, it's not a gun range, it's not an ATV track. I just want to say kudos to the chief and to the manager for standing up with me and meeting with Florida City, coming together like two good cities, and now we start, as of tomorrow morning, Chief, as of tomorrow morning, signs are going up. One landowner called me and said, I'll be there at 11 o'clock. Do you want to be there, Mayor? Do you want to point where you want one of the signs or whatever? But that's good. That's proactive. And if we can get the gun firing stopped, that'll save a life. That'll save some problems, I believe. So thank you all very much. All right. I have nothing further. Motion to adjourn. Okay, second. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Do you know when I have the next council meeting?